Hey y'all, I'm LaToya Drake with Kentucky's Nutrition Education Program for the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And I'm at the beautiful Allen County Scottsville Cooperative Extension Service office in their lovely demonstration kitchen. And we're here with a super festive recipe, our, sorghum gingerbread pear muffins. A long title. We like long titles in extension, it seems. But this is a super tasty recipe using in-season sorghum. And I happened to find some Allen County sorghum at my local farm stand store or roadside market. So I'm pretty pumped to try this in this recipe. So this recipe calls for 1 cup whole wheat flour, a half a teaspoon baking powder, a half a teaspoon baking soda. We've got those there. We've got our whole wheat flour here. We've got a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and that's all together, and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in that little container there. We have 1 egg. We have a half a cup of buttermilk, and one tip that I did, I had half and half in my refrigerator at home, and when we're thinking about saving money, we want to use what we have available. So I used that half and half, and I added a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and I made my own kind of buttermilk substitute. So we'll see, and I'm sure that it'll be just as flavorful and just as good with these ingredients. But you would use typically a half a cup buttermilk, or use what you have at home. You can make that similar buttermilk substitute using any milk of your choice that you have on hand. So okay, we've got our buttermilk, we've got our 1 egg, we've got our sorghum syrup, our Allen County sorghum syrup, and we've got a half a cup of unsweetened applesauce and 1 pear peeled and cored and diced, so about a cup of pears as well. So we're gonna start, this is gonna make 12 muffins total, and we've preheated our oven to 375 degrees, and I've got these muffin pans lined and I greased them up. So we're gonna start by mixing our dries into this bowl. So we've got our whole wheat flour. So we got our dries. We've got our baking soda or powder, one of them. They look pretty similar. But we got, how much was that? A half of a teaspoon of each of those. And then we've got our half a teaspoon of cinnamon or a half a teaspoon of ginger, those fall flavors. I'm gonna give it that nice spice. Let's just mix this up real quick. Get that spice throughout that whole wheat. So it's sorghum season in Kentucky, and sorghum is in season from September through November, so it's a great fall flavor. It smells pretty earthy, right? So we're gonna get our egg mixture together. Let's crack this egg. Let's try not to get any shell in there. I did all right today. Let's just whisk this up some to break it up. So basically, I'm gonna add all my wets together, and that includes my buttermilk. Nice kind of whisk that up. It includes my applesauce. Scrape all the goodness out, mix that up. And it includes our sorghum. Get all that out. And I should have sprayed this down with some stick spray because when I measured this out into the measuring cup, I sprayed that cup with some non-stick cooking spray. And that's gonna help that release from like glass or plastic a lot easier than not using that. Let's mix this up pretty good. It's so sticky. So sorghum is a great substitute for honey or molasses, and they often call it like sorghum molasses, even though those are from 2 different plants. So the sorghum plant is a grass or a weed that's native to Africa, actually. It most likely came over with enslaved folks, so that's pretty interesting history. And then sorghum was one of the most popular sweeteners at one point in time, right? But it's a little bit more bitter than our sugarcane sweeteners. So we got this mixed up pretty good. Making a mess. And I'm gonna pour my wets into my dries. Smells kind of like molasses, that earthy kind of sweet smell. So I've got my wets in my dries, and I'm mixing this all together real nice. sniffing it out. So this sorghum here is in season right now. And I found it difficult to find at my local big box store, which is another good reason to support local, right? Because at our big box stores, there was no sorghum syrup available. But I ran right to a farm market, a roadside market in Barron County there called Ken Davis Produce. And he had plenty of sorghum for us. So got that in there. Then I'm gonna fold my pears in. We're gonna see. So once we get this in the oven, it's gonna cook for about 20 minutes. Let's see. And when I measure out my muffins, I like to use like a measuring cup of the same size so all of them are kind of even. So we got one. And like I said, this is a great recipe for holiday times. We have our potlucks coming up. And this will be one that'll be easy to transport right on your way to houses. And also a great option for holiday meals is like brunches, because brunches are gonna be a lot more expensive, or a lot more inexpensive than our traditional holiday meals, you know, with the turkey and the ham, the two meats. And right now, groceries are more expensive than ever, it seems. So brunch is a great idea to do because eggs are a pretty cheap protein source. So that's something that you can use. And then you can have a muffin like these flavorful holiday inspired gingerbread, pear, and sorghum muffins. And we've also got a variety of other brunch type recipes on the Plated Up Kentucky Proud site, as well as at planeatmove.com. You're gonna find those budget-friendly recipes, because I know we're all thinking about our budget more than ever right now, especially during the holidays, because we wanna be able to gift our families and feed our families. So like we said, brunch is a great option to eat on a budget. Make a mess. So we've got this all together. Let me grab a paper towel. And I'm gonna wipe this off so it doesn't crisp up. So we've got our 12 muffins, super full, and it says in the recipe that it's gonna be full. And we're gonna pop these in the oven, and we'll return in 20 minutes to see how they look. All right, y'all, they're out of the oven and they look pretty tasty and they smell even better. They did not rise as much as I expected them to rise, and that could be because of the whole wheat flour that we used and not all-purpose, rising flour, or the buttermilk that I used, my buttermilk substitute. But they have a great color and they smell really great, so I'm super excited to taste them. So we've got these sorghum muffins. They look super dense, and I'm sure they're going to be super fibrous and have lots of fiber because of the whole grains, right? And sorghum also has lots of different minerals in it, including phosphorus, right? Phosphorus among others too. My note's not really there that quickly to get to, but it has lots of minerals because it's just a natural sweetener. And just like any sweetener, we want to make sure that we limit those in our diets overall. But this is a great one to try to incorporate on your biscuits, on your oatmeal, on your pancakes, in your muffins. A great alternative to try instead of the typical honey, molasses, sugar. This one is going to give you that extra benefit of those minerals. So this recipe is available at Plated Up Kentucky Proud's website. And I always get it wrong, but it's platedup.ca.uky.edu. This recipe can also be found by reaching out to this county extension service or any county extension service in Kentucky, because this is a great one, a great recipe for Kentucky residents and Tennessee residents, because did you know both of our states are the greatest producers of sorghum in the United States. So we got a lot of sorghum going around here, so we want this recipe. You can also reach out to Barry Hyatt, and his email is at barry.hyatt@nctc.com. That's barry.hyatt@nctc.com. So reach out to the extension service in Allen County or any of our Kentucky counties for this recipe, or reach out to Barry. And also check us out at planeatmove.com. You're going to find this budget-friendly recipe there. And any county extension service in Tennessee, in Kentucky, wherever, we want to help you eat better for less. So reach out to the service, and thank you for watching.